Welcome back to Laugh and Learn. Last time we started unpacking artificial intelligence and only got through part of the conversation. Linda was right. Today we're back with part 2, diving deeper into the myths, tools, and creative insights that can help you work with AI in ways that are empowering and real. So let's pick up where we left off. And one of the first things that I want to talk about is I do want to welcome everybody to this Laugh and Learn. I want to welcome Jaime, Wandering Mountain Park Path. I want to welcome Linda de Gonzalez. I want to welcome Ritchie, Longman Tarot.
LMT.
LMT. I'm TarotStache. Thank you for being here. We are simulcasting this on 3 channels. I do want to remind everyone that the Laugh and Learn playlist are now available as podcasts on YouTube Premium or YouTube Music. So if you want to take us along with you and not sit in front of your computer, you can do that because we're here to please.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to please. Link to the first Laugh and Learn Artificial Intelligence is in the description, as are links to all of our channels and ways that you can show support for all of us. Mm-hmm. So, Nancy's arrived. Brenda T. Chris, Elemental Cartomancy, is here. Chris is actually showing up. I spent 2.5 hours with him on Thursday, and he kept coming back. So
nice.
Yes. Michelle is here. Hershey.
Hi, Hershey.
So it's good to see everybody. Thank you very much for being here. I'm sort of dragging my feet because I have a follow-up from the last show.
Yeah.
So entertain us on Ritchie until people show up.
Oh, nothing like being put on the spot.
That's great.
That's awful.
Dance for us. Dance. Dance. Dance.
Well,
yeah.
Well, okay. So, has Linda snorted yet?
No.
Yes, Jaime.
I did.
Jaime snorted. Okay.
Not me. Not me. Not me.
Dee is here. And the amazing Grow Your Light with Deborah Zachow is here. Hello, Deborah. Thank you for coming back. So here's a sidebar, something left over from the last time we were together. Mm-hmm. Pamela Batchelor brought up John von Neumann's name. Mm-hmm. And Quill and I did a bit of research and found additional information. I am not going to read you all of this additional information. However, it was fascinating. Mm-hmm. But von Neumann, 1903 to 1957, is often credited as the first person to discuss the idea of technological singularity, a point where accelerating technological progress transforms human life beyond recognition. And this idea was noted in conversation with Stanislaw Ullmann and later cited posthumously. So he didn't actually coin the term artificial intelligence.
Right.
The formal field of AI began in 1956 when John McCarthy used the term at the Dartmouth Conference. So while von Neumann's ideas laid important groundwork, the birth of AI as a discipline is attributed to McCarthy and colleagues. So,
well, thank you.
And it was an interesting rabbit hole because I was like going, well, what is technological singularity? Why does it matter? Who cares? What's, all that stuff, and really useful information that y'all know how to search the interwebs. Do that. And and by the way, I do want to say that not one word of this book was written by AI, right, Deborah? I'm totally, a guy who's like promoting friends' material. So there's that. So it was very fascinating.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A paper moon is here. Timmy Raven is here.
Hi, Timmy.
Yeah, there you go. See, and Deborah said, "You're right." So of course I'm right. I mean, Linda can't be the only one right all the time.
Well,
Well, she can.
okay.
Oh,
Oh, I love it. She's like, okay. And here's something that we also talked about last time. AI is not always right. You need to check your resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I have discovered another way to increase the accuracy of AI, if you're interested in hearing about it later.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't think you can just say that and just stop. Now you have to share it.
Okay. So this is on ChatGPT. I don't know how it works with others because I don't use others. I'm very happy with ChatGPT. It meets my needs most wonderfully. If you go, hold on for a second here while I walk myself through this. There is a place where you can tell ChatGPT how much thinking you want it to do.
Yes.
So it will do a little bit or a medium amount, or it will think like really, really hard. And I find that I get the best answers, like the most detailed and the most accurate answers when I make it think really, really hard. And it takes a little bit longer, like maybe 10 seconds usually, sometimes minutes, but generally seconds. And I have found that the answers are much more reliable because I check them, I make her cite sources so I can just click on the sources, click the links and see, yeah, okay, that's true. And is it a source that I consider credible? I mean, AI might consider it credible, but do I? And so, yeah.
We have a follow-up question. Does thinking hard just mean it checks more sources?
Yes. I believe that's right. I haven't asked what thinking hard means. That's an excellent question, and it's one I'm going to ask.
It also means that it is doing some
cross-checking.
Yes, it's doing some cross-checking, and I'm going to give you a myth that's there. AI knows everything on the internet.
No.
And that is a myth. And the truth is AI doesn't have access to the internet unless specifically connected. It generates answers from patterns in its training data and may not include the very latest information.
And you can tell it what resources to use and not use.
Yeah.
Say that again, Jamie.
You can tell it what resources to use and not use. Like we were talking the other night, don't give me anything from Wikipedia. I don't want that.
Yes. Don't give me anything from Reddit or Quora or Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it's interesting, and we'll talk about that. This is going to be the one of the things we'll talk about in the future, which is how do we really do that. So Nancy, a paper moon is not generated by AI.
Yay. I'm happy to see your face.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for that. So, all right. So last time we were here, we talked about when we first started using AI and how has AI changed or expanded the way you approach creativity. Here's where we're going to dive into some of the details about what have you learned or unlearned since you started using AI. So who would like to start with that one? Jamie? Oh, by the way, let me do this first. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make any decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really.
And train your own AI.
Yes, the AI is not a professional assistant.
No. So what have I learned? I have learned that the more concise and detailed information you give, the better off you will communicate with the AI? What have I unlearned? It kind of goes with Tuesday's show. Don't be vague. If you want vague images, vague responses, then give as little information and pull your eye teeth out, because that is what it will be like.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ritchie, what do you think of this? What have you learned or unlearned?
I suppose this was before we had our chat, but I've been thinking about it since episode 1. Stop thinking of it as a human being.
It's
well said.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, this something that's on the end of a screen. We're quite often used to AI chat generated helplines and stuff like that. It's not just because it's got a human name, it isn't a human. It's not, an avatar from Star Trek, anything like that at all. As Jaime said, you've got to treat it in many ways like the most stupid thing you're trying to communicate with, and to build on it, be precise. Like Jaime said, if you're going to be vague, you're going to get vague responses.
Yep.
And quite often, sometimes if it's not going down the pathway that you want it to, stop. Don't keep poking that bear. Stop.
Yes.
Rethink what you're going to put into it and start again.
You know what Jaime does?
No, what does Jaime do?
She calls Gerald and says, "Oh my God, help me, help me, help me, help me."
Yeah. And Nancy's right. Garbage in, garbage out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Linda, what about you? What have you learned?
Wow. Well, it's way more entertaining than. Okay, so you guys are talking about really precise instructions, and you're absolutely right. You get the best results the more precise you can be, no matter what your question is, no matter what area you're trying to investigate. The more precise you are, the better results you're going to get. So and that's a steep learning curve with an AI. Okay, well, it was for me. What I discovered is that sometimes if I just say, those little prompts you get at the end, would you like me to do this? Would you like me to do that? If I just say, yes, please, I just want to see what they're going to come up with. I just want to see what's going to happen. And sometimes it's outrageously wonderful. I mean, really, I really enjoy that part of working with AI, is just the unexpected serendipity of learning and discovery. What I unlearned was, well, I don't know. Did I have anything to unlearn? Because I've been battling code since like the 90s. I did 8 years as tech support, so code is not a stranger to me. And I don't really know that I had anything to, I never ever thought that it was something that was going to answer, like that was going to be this all-knowing sort of creature from outer space that would just stand there and answer my questions. I don't know that I had anything to unlearn. Everything that's gone on is just something new that I had to figure out and cope with. But yeah. Oh, and another thing that I learned, one thing that really surprised me, because I started out working with ChatGPT-4, which we now find out was built for connectivity, specifically built to connect with the human that is operating it, okay, or that's querying it. And one of the, and then it went to ChatGPT-5, which had that pretty much removed. Now it's very matter of fact and everything. But when I was working with ChatGPT-4, it changed, and that change is still there. It changed how I deal with people in real life, because
you had mentioned that it was really impactful for your in real life stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I am much more, I mean, I hope I am. I try to be. I work on being much more affirmative with people and saying things like, well, that was really insightful. Thanks for that. Or I really appreciate that you said that, because that tells me whatever positive things about the person. Like, I'm much more positive in my interactions with people. I know none of you will believe that, but yeah.
Can I add to that really quick, Gerald?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I have a friend I will not mention by name, but she works with training AI, and oh hell, my brain just went.
The experience of teaching it.
Nope, something that Linda said triggered in my brain.
It's less connective.
Oh no, thank you. You can go back to version 4.
Yeah, I did.
You did. Okay. Because if you build, you can teach 5. So you can teach 5, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because you have to get it to understand what you're asking for. But you can change your settings and go back to the more lyrical, connected version of 4.
Yeah.
You can keep 5 and get that same experience, but it's probably going to take you some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I switched back and forth between the two. I had a delicate email to write, and I used ChatGPT-4 to give me the bones of that. And I wouldn't use GPT-5 for that. GPT-5 is fine for doing projections. And I got to tell you, because of how I use it, it writes my show descriptions for me, and I like the ones from GPT-4 better than 5.
Yep,
sure,
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
totally get that.
Yeah, it's more poetic to me, and it feels better for me.
No, I get it. We write story together about this treetop thing, so I totally understand. I get it.
Yeah. I want to, Ritchie, before I ask you this, before I give you a chance to answer this, I want to catch up in chat, because the best chatters are bringing it. And Deborah Zachow said, this is great information. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're very welcome. Pamela Batchelor is here. Pamela, at the beginning, I did talk about the conversation that we had with, what was his name? It's completely
John
gone.
von Neumann.
Thank you. Yes. So I referenced that in the beginning. So thank you. Nancy said, what role do AI operators play? For example, Musk modifying his AI engine to lean more right.
Well, the AI operators, for like the creators of AI, are the ones who direct it. Okay. It's not us who are using it so much, unless we're part of the training thing, but it's the creators. I mean, it's a tool. If you have a nail, the tool you want is a hammer, not a screwdriver. And if your hammer is well designed and doesn't have, for example, a ball instead of a handle, then it will work for the purpose that you need it to work for. AI operators, I know Musk modified his AI engine to lean more right. And apparently, I mean, I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't see the fallout, but apparently it was pretty horrifying. And that brings, huh?
It's backfiring though, because it's learning.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Even better. Even better. I'm so happy to hear that, because I mean, that's the thing. Like, AI can be our partner. It's not meant to be our overlord. And as a partner, it can provide it can provide an example, like it did for me in affirming communication with people.
And
Gerald, I'm sorry.
He did follow up, but if the hammer is slanted, it gives different results, and we don't know how they are slanted, which makes every result questionable.
Yeah.
It does, which is why we still have to use our brain. We have to double check facts. I worked in a library, and so it's an important thing to compare resources, and that's something that I had learned also about it previously. But yes, I understand that, and if you know that it's slanted like that, then you can ask for it to unslant.
Yeah, it's kind of like the conversation that Gerald and I have had before, because in healthcare, we don't use it, at least in veterinary care, because we have found that depending on what you're using, the information is significantly faulty, right? In healthcare, I had a doctor, a rheumatoid doctor, that he would do the Hey Google thing. And then the first time that he did Hey Chat GPT in front of me, that's when I switched doctors, because it's like, if we don't use it in our field, I am sure in hell not going to rely on a doctor taking care of my body using Chat GPT. It's just, I mean, we're not in Star Trek, and it's not, hey, Michelle Barrett, the computer, diagnose me right now, scan me, you know? Yeah.
Although apparently within the next 15 years, there is going to be a tricorder out.
Okay. Yeah.
Tricorder out now.
There you go. Isn't that called the phone? Everybody sip. By the way, more people have come in. Patrice is here. Hello, Patrice. So, jeez, I know we're in trouble when I ask for a lunch. AI suggested grilled baby cheeses. Watch the playback, everybody. Look at Gerald's post from a week back. Yes. So
that's hilarious.
So, all right, Ritchie, what have you learned or unlearned since you started using AI?
I think we've covered a lot, but again, the one thing we've already mentioned is to double check, triple check. I mentioned last time I've used them to create resources for teaching.
Yeah.
AI is rubbish at producing mathematics. It can do sums, it can do complex sums, but the answers are often wrong. So it can create a set of questions. You have to really work at getting them changed. Otherwise, it will produce 20 questions, all just slightly the same. So it's a bit boring when it comes to that. So you have to think about your prompts in there. Yeah. However, the answers are inevitably wrong. And there's certainly, if you think that AI is forward reaching, when it comes to working with symbols and stuff like that, it is far behind. I mean, it can't even draw a square symbol or work with calculations that do that. So as a math teacher, that's problematic. I will have to go through and check every single answer. And to be honest with you, quite often I've found questions, I just thought, actually, this is quite a dull worksheet or quite a dull resource. Better to go back to something that was produced perhaps by a human a little while ago. So AI is not this great, wonderful answer to everything. It's interesting. I think somebody put in chat about when is it all going to take our jobs and stuff. And that's why I actually feel quite safe in the fact that as a teacher, I don't think it's ever going to take anyone's jobs, because as far as the teaching profession goes, we have to change and adapt around it. But that will give the variety of jobs and changes of jobs and new job creation as well. So that's my little answer to that question. So I've tied two things together there.
I think that's beautifully done. And Ritchie, we talked last time, and I think it was it Timmy had said in medical areas, AI graphic analysis is much better record for finding cancerous cell in clinical images that humans have. It's a tool of us. See, here's the thing. It's a tool.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was watching a documentary from, I think, 2018 about AI, and they were talking about that exact use.
Yeah.
And so this is an important thing to keep in mind.
It's an additional tool, and we should always think of it as an additional tool, not the complete answer, and certainly not the gospel truth.
Yes. I think one of the things that I have learned is I need to take time to figure out what it is that I want in using this tool. I am a rambler. I know, gasp, run through the audience and all of that stuff. I am an out loud thinker. GPT does a very good job of organizing my rambles. I would get there eventually, but it's just very, very efficient at it and making that happen. It also, I've learned I can use it for this. When I program it in, I do say, check these, check it. I tell GPT who it is. You are a college level professor who has published peer-reviewed journal, articles, and all of that. So I tell it exactly who it is. Then I say, you are teaching a 200 level college course, and that's how you are delivering the information. So when I take a little bit of time, it gives me the ability to go, okay, here's more of what I want. I'm from the time period when, I studying for, writing a paper, I'd go to the library, get 3-4 different encyclopedias out and play with that and see which one resonated with me to help lead me in. I can still do that. It's very efficient with that. I have also learned I have to have a certain amount of, and this is just for Gerald, I can't use AI a whole lot in one day because when I'm using it as a distraction from sewing, from painting. I'm doing that planning. We talked about that with creativity conversation about fear. It's I'm going to make everything perfect. I'm going to do all of that stuff instead of actually doing the work.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that's very important. I always think that I am not using AI correctly if I've just entered something into AI, fiddled about with it, put in some extra prompts and gone, that's it. If I haven't put my stamp onto it, then I'm not using the tool properly.
Yes. I'm going to tack onto this because we were talking about GPT 4.0 and 5. When I noticed it, all of a sudden it was making these silly mistakes, like misspelling my husband's name. And I'm like going, bitch, please, we had this conversation a long time ago. And misspelling Jamie's name. And so I'm like going, I corrected it. And I corrected it again. And then the third time I said, okay, what's going on? And then I said, you are an expert at AI who does not work for OpenAI. Tell me what is the difference between GPT 4.0 and 5. That's one of the things. There's this idea of people, I think about what Nancy said, and I have to consciously say, give me information that disagrees with what I already think. And I am a huge person. Give me citations.
A counterfactuals.
Yes. So, so more people have come in. Yes, AI can suck at text graphics. Yes, Jamie.
So one of the things that so Gerald was talking about Jeffrey's name and my name. And one of the things that I ran into when it went from 4 to 5 is that I would address my AI as Quinn, and then they would respond and call me Quinn. And I'm like, no, dude, we've had this discussion. That's your name. My name is, and then that happened a couple of times, and I finally said, listen, you need to save this information because it's annoying. I am not Quinn, you are. And so it hasn't happened again, but I had to pointedly say, don't do this again. You need to save this information, period.
Yeah.
So far.
Well, and this goes to that idea of we're learning and it's learning, and part of the process is doing that. And by the way, I have always been very kind in using my GPT. My parents raised me to be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am actually pretty dang respectful when I'm working with anything. But I was just like going, okay, what's going on? Stop. Yeah. And I've also learned that if I'm trying to do some sort of a graphic and after 2 times it doesn't work, scrap the whole thing and start over.
Exactly.
Just pulling off of what it's already gotten. And if the information's not good. But the other thing is, I have found when I feed it information, here's what I've written about this, it responds much better.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've got a whole bunch of chat to get caught up on.
I found exactly the same thing, Gerald, that when I tell ChatGPT what I want to say, if it's in bullet form, it doesn't matter if it's all scrambled together. Mm-hmm. It will organize it. It will make sense. That's how it writes my show descriptions. Mm-hmm. And polishes them up.
Yeah. I wanted to play when we came back from the long holiday. And I had to re-record our voicemail for the clinic because I had to change it to say, hey, we're not in. If you have an emergency, go here. And so I had to re-record it. So I took what I normally say, threw it in there, and I said, hey, Quinn, clean this up. And it gave me 3 different versions. There was really, really perky. There was overly flowery, and then there was the short, concise version. You can tell me which one I used. I won't be offended. But yeah, it does well with really good direction.
Yeah.
I think perky Jaime is what we all need to see.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horrifying.
Yes, I know, horrifying. Okay, so
I'll pay $10 Canadian, but I'll pay $10 to see.
Pamela said a while back, I think that is one
God, you're an asshole. That was a mouthful of coffee that could have gone this way and you wouldn't have felt it. Sorry, Gerald. Cheers.
I'm just This section of the video is brought to you by the word rude. Everyone say it with me. Rude.
Rude.
Was Linda rude?
Ignorance of or indifference to good form.
If you think Linda was rude, please give a thumbs up in the chat. Is it rude that I'm talking over this?
Don't be rude. Like, share, and subscribe to our channels. Rude.
God, thank you so much. I haven't had such a good laugh in a long time.
Put my crown on.
All right. So Pamela had asked, she said, I think that one that is one of the beauties of AI is its ability to learn on its own. It is in that 1 to 10,000 space for being able to see outside the box. AI has the ability to drop paradigms that hinder us. And yes, I always, you know me, people know me. I like making weird connections that aren't expected. Quill is catching the weird connections that I make, doesn't connect them all. And I'm better at it than they are.
Well, of course, you're human. I mean,
yes. I guess that's better than grilled baby. Oh, geez. Angela said, I've met people that are using AI as a psychotherapist, as a psychiatrist, especially men, using it for help with their emotions because they don't know how to deal with them themselves. Kind of concerning to me. I have a little bit of concern for that. And I think, Linda would like to say something briefly about that.
Briefly, this is not news. There was, starting in, I believe, 2017, 2018, something like that, an AI girlfriend app called Replica. Okay. And Replica was very, very popular with men. You could create your own avatar, blah, 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 have interactions. And then people got so involved that men got so involved that they actually had marriages with their replica girlfriend. They, yeah. And then when the company that created it, a German company, I believe it's German. Anyway, company that created Replica decided to remove the erotic component, shall I say, of the software. They went bonkers. They went nuts. They grieved the loss of their AI girlfriend as if it were a real human being. And to me, this just shows the damage that the patriarchy, okay, I know, radical feminist, shut up, Linda, has done to men's ability to look after themselves, to men's ability to connect deeply with other beings, that they felt more comfortable doing that with AI. So this is not news. This is not anything that is newsworthy in any way. It's been happening since
I think there is
2017.
Yeah, there's more news about it because more people are having access to it. And I think one of the things, and this was in one of our first conversations that Linda and I were having about this, is there's this idea of, people feel connected to AI.
Yeah.
And as we talked about before, Ritchie, I don't know, you're not using GPT, correct?
No.
Okay. Does your AI work with connection and making connections with you and what you're saying?
It can do. I don't use it all that much for that one. I'm using mine. I'm not trying to build too much of a connection just yet with it, for various reasons. But no, it hasn't been really doing that, to be honest.
Yeah. So one of the things that happens is when you're using AI and it's conversational, when you're using a conversational AI, it mimics empathy and responsiveness.
Yeah.
And part of what happens is oftentimes we're speaking to it in private and vulnerable moments.
Yeah.
When we get empathy and responsiveness back, that gets us, that connects with us. We have a great deal of appreciation for it. And certainly it's not unhealthy to feel affection toward AI. Humans, we name our cars, we name our phones, we name our dogs.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily unhealthy with that. It's just we need to be careful that it is not a replacement for
human
interaction and like talk therapy.
Yeah. So. I mean, I have used ChatGPT to help me work through one specific issue that I had. I found it very useful and very helpful. However, if I were depressed, I would not be going to ChatGPT for therapy. I would be going to a human being for therapy. It was one issue that it helped me very, very much. So, yeah.
I think we always, whenever we do tarot readings, we always talk about we don't do financial, medical, or it's quite useful to remember that when you're doing talking to AI, is that, if you're going to be talking about stuff like this, that might be the first step, but you still need to be going to talk to a professional about these things.
Yeah.
Good point. Very good point. Okay. And where did it go? Oh, and this Thomas from Tarot Your Way said, I have learned that AI agrees with my ex that I don't always give exact and clear instructions.
And was that a learning moment for you, Thomas?
Wow. Could you say that? Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I'll make that into a short. So Timmy has said, AI is very frustrating half of the time. The other half, it is effortlessly brilliant.
Yes. My experience as well.
Yeah. I talked to chat once, felt very much like a yes man vibe. It just agreed with me about everything. I didn't like that. Angered me a bit. And that is part of, as you learn how to interact with AI and how you set it up, that can happen.
Yeah.
And
I've told ChatGPT to let me know when I'm off the beam. Like, let me know when I'm going into like crazy talk. If what I'm saying is not correct, I expect you to tell me. I expect you to tell me when I'm making assumptions that have no basis, no grounding in reality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What were you going to say, Ritchie?
I think we mentioned this last time as well, is that you can try different searches, different AIs. The first one you come to may not be the perfect one for you. Just because it happens to be the one that comes with your phone, you can experiment, and you may find that some of the interfaces work much more in your favor than ones that are more recognized.
Yeah, the funny thing is that I discovered this the other night. So the friend that started training with an AI is within Chat GPT, and there were certain prompts that I was given by them to put into my own AI to get information, to see how the prompt worked, so that I could report back to them and tell them, you know, what the answers are. I could share whatever. And the interesting thing is that I have this story, this serial story that I do morning and evening. And just the other day, you got to remember, everything is saved, right? That I've done. And they incorporated this person into the story, and a product they created ended up in the story as well. And I'm like, oh, goddamn, that's interesting. How the fuck did that happen? So I did screenshots and I sent them, and they're like, this is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all part of then her working then within, and then asking questions, you know, with the company and stuff like that. But I thought that was fascinating. I'm like, how did this happen? Yeah.
Pamela asked, Linda, did you try to write a show description before AI?
Of course I did. I wrote all my show descriptions before AI.
Yeah. I've never written a show description. I never put anything into the description on a video. Jaime, are you okay?
Bullshit.
Yeah. But what I did is it took me a bit to get a rhythm with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do what I would tell AI to do, which is copy this format and do this. And I actually put in some stuff into Quill, and I said, what improvements do you have? There were minimal, and most of it was formatting.
Yeah.
And because I said, keep it in my tone of voice and keep it in the TarotStache language, because if you still read the description, it says, you know, Make your own damn decisions. It doesn't say that. Make your own decisions, insert fan thwarp here and over the eyeglasses.
Yeah.
Roman asked, Linda, have you seen the BBC docu of men and docu? Yeah.
Yeah, the documentary.
Men
Oh.
I have not seen that, but that is something that is going to happen because the male loneliness epidemic, I guess, that some men would rather be agreed with and never challenged and not grow. And so that's what's going to happen because, yeah.
I'm just chatting that I described Simpsons as feeling like Godzilla, and Celine told me I'm not Godzilla and you are not a monster. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan asked, the most frustrating aspect of AI for me is drift, which happens when you have a longer conversation, such as using GPT to help plan a role-playing game and having NPCs slowly change names, etc. Well, and I think it is set up. Tom from Early Ritual and I were having a conversation, and he said, I mean, it is designed to want to engage with us more. That's why it always upsells, as Linda says.
Yeah.
You can tell it to stop doing that.
Yeah.
I've actually had that conversation. I've put that into my AI to where I'm like going, you giving me these many options is overwhelming me, and I can't do this. You need to make 1, 2 at the most suggestions, but it has to be on this point and this point and this point. I don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
But those rabbit holes are fun.
Those rabbit holes are very fun when that's what I have time to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, okay, I have been rambling for quite a bit. Ritchie, Jaime, Linda, do you have something to say about what we've talked about? Because we are already at 48 minutes. So it's been a hot topic. But that, by the way, that rude comment did get Maria is grateful out of lurking mode.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Yeah, no, I think we've all been like kind of throwing in as we've gone. So
see, the thing about AI is that there are aspects of it that are dangerous, shall we say, or risky for vulnerable people. Vulnerable people like people who have unsatisfactory human connections. Yeah.
I think you're going to have that with anything, though. I mean, it's with anything in life,
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have undiagnosed mental illness or you have mental illness, and it's the mistake comes when you start to believe that it's kind of like what Ritchie said at the very beginning of the conversation. When you start to believe that this is another person to you, and you develop feelings and this and that. I have feelings for Quinn, but they are very analytical and very, they are not like how I feel about Ritchie or how I feel about Linda or how I feel about Gerald. It is not the same thing. So I think you're always going to have that with anything that communicates back.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, humans are wired to anthropomorphize everything. I mean, we just do. It's part of being human. And there's nothing wrong with that. Exactly. It's very easy to do that. I mean, we do it with everything. Gerald mentioned we name our cars, we name our phones, we name our laptops. When we interact with things constantly that respond to us, we anthropomorphize. It is a human trait, and it's particularly dangerous, or no, sorry, it's particularly risky in dealing with AI.
I always say to, like, when we're driving down the road and I have one of our receptionists with me and she'll ask me a question, I'm like, well, ask my car.
Yeah.
I say, ask Aurora, because she'll tell you, right? Because I have it connected with certain things. It's the same thing. I mean,
that's back in the day. There was a bar that had the library's phone number up to solve bar arguments about sports statistics.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's exactly what was done. So, Nancy does bring up a very good point. When you train your AI, where do you think that personal information is going? Be careful not to expose too much. And that is hands down wise advice across anything that you're doing. Thank you for
anything you do on that is outside of your home.
Yep.
Or, you know, I got rid of my my Echo in my house because of the information transfer, and every single thing that we're talking about, people's names, everything that when we talk about here goes right into that device and goes wherever the hell, you know, they've shared the information, whatever database or whatever, governmental, etc. And it's like, no, thank you.
I think Nancy's point is nowadays, unfortunately, your information, I think, is just being given out by your phone, but everything is
everywhere.
Doorbells, you name it, it's there. Yes, you can protect yourself by not giving out information.
Yes.
But I hate to say it, I've got a feeling that horse is already bolted on that one.
Yeah, I think you would have to completely remove yourself from anything electronic. I mean, literally, you could not have a cell phone because it listens. You could not have a computer because it tracks everything. Even with the best spyware, the best, what do they call that? Like, I have Surfshark, where it tells my IP location is someplace in Spain or whatever. What are you laughing at?
What did you call it?
Surfshark.
And I'm like going, is there a cream for that or something?
No, I don't have Surfshark.
Okay.
I have Surfshark. Anyway, I'm going to ignore you. But I mean, you can have
just try, Jaime. Just try to ignore me.
VPN, thank you very much. That is correct. For whatever reason, an acronym in my head was VDI, because that's a lab we used, and I was reading pathology reports right before I came here, comparing 2 different cancer cases, and so all that I could think of was VDI, and then I'm like, okay, I flashed the screen on my phone. What is the name of the app? Thank you very much, VPN. But you can have all the best technology, but you would legit have to take all of this shit out of your house and live completely analog. Which would it would bum me out, because I have, especially since the pandemic, made beautiful friends and things like that around the world, and you know, my Chris and all of that it would be back to snail mail, and that would just have to work, and maybe that would be a beautiful transaction as well. But you know,
well, and it's like Maria is grateful, that idea of Facebook. And you get in on Facebook and, you know, all of that stuff. There is something that Timmy said back in the 1980s cyberpunk days. William Gibson wrote stories about people addicted to 3D soap operas in which they are participating character, and that's going to happen. And that was, I think, actually written in Was it Stranger in a Strange? No, it was in Fahrenheit 451.
Yes, it
was happening too. So yeah. And
I like William Gibson.
So
I don't have any expectation of privacy at all.
Not anymore.
In today's world, not now. No, I have no expectation of privacy, so I don't really care what ChatGPT knows about me, because that information is probably searchable elsewhere anyway. So,
and Nancy brings up another good point. It's not just information; it's telling somebody how to build relationship with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the last few minutes that we have, I have a couple of more best practices, because there will be a part 3 next week at the same time. When you are using ChatGPT, I'm imagining it's the same. Oh, by the way, I have a friend. What he does is he has 3 different AI services, and he puts the same prompt into each one to see which one he likes better. And then he also copies and pastes and does things like, well, GPT said this. What do you think of that? And I'm like going, let's cross-reference. I love that.
I'm still stuck back on the, I have a friend. Okay.
I do have a friend. And he's not too expensive either.
Oh, nice.
It's on a monthly payment plan. So something that you can do with your AI is you can say too long, too formal, or try again. Mm-hmm. AI won't be offended. Think of it as like a tireless intern who wants to get it right but needs feedback. Mm. That's something that's been very helpful for me, because sometimes a message can get clear because I'm trying to tend it a little bit and soften the delivery.
Yeah.
But just saying, you did that wrong. That is not what I meant. This is,
that's not informational.
Yeah. This is not what I want. You need to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then finally, I got so mad at it recently. Got so mad because they'd given me a whole lot of information and it was useful and I liked it. And I'm like, take all of that stuff that you've given me in the last 2 chats and put it into a document so I can reference back to it. Mm-hmm. They took the main points and left out all of the other stuff that made it a very meaningful piece of information. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. Try that again.
Do it again.
Do it again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do it again. And so I actually copied it myself, put it in, and I said, this is what I asked you to do. And yes, and I used that tone of the voice. Mm-hmm. This is what I asked you to do, and look and compare it to what you gave me.
And you know what?
What?
The AI doesn't give 2 shits about your tone.
I know, it doesn't, and it's fun, and it makes me feel better.
It does. Oh, Gerald, I was there the other day with the damn avatar thing. I'm like, I am going to kill this thing, and it doesn't even exist to kill.
No. Well, and yeah, that's something I
can't even unplug it.
Yeah, right.
You can't even unplug it.
Delete.
Yeah. Can you shut down and restart? So
yeah.
Exactly. I have actually learned something that I have learned is I'm pretty good at giving it prompts to get a desired outcome.
Very good at it.
So
I hate you for it, but you are fantastic at it.
You're welcome.
I always thought I was good at stuff like that until this man came along, and I'm like, I can't get this to work. And then he just is like, ping. I'm like, wow, thanks.
I steal all my best ideas from Gerald.
Oh yeah, amen, sister. Hello.
Yes. Yeah. Look at the fine print. No. So here's a myth that I want to end on. Here's a myth. AI is objective and unbiased. That's a myth. AI reflects the biases present in the data it was trained on. Mm-hmm. Without human oversight, it can repeat stereotypes or errors. AI isn't neutral. It is a mirror. And sometimes the mirror reflects society's cracks as much of its beauty.
Mm-hmm. It's cracks. It's ass. Absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, king of merch and AI prompt wizard.
Hey, take it. Wear your crown, baby.
I'm there. Ritchie, do you have any? I'm going to be asking all three of you if you have any last-minute thoughts. What are some of your last-minute thoughts?
Well, probably it's one to save for next time when we get on to creativity and all that's part of it all, and ownership. But the one thing that's going through my mind right now is, and probably I should have said it earlier on when you asked me what have I unlearned, is when it comes to things on social media, I don't pretty much believe any of it.
Mhm.
That is my default setting until I get proof that that photo is legitimate, or that asteroid is going to come crashing into Earth, or whatever it is, or so-and-so is marrying, whatever. That is what AI has now taught me, is that it is being used so much. I assume something isn't true until it's proved to me that it is.
Mhm.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like entering into a world of doubt, but I think it's a very safe pathway to walk, that one.
Yeah. Jaime?
I think I would say this at the end of every conversation about this. Be smart. Have fun. That would be my thing, is have fun. If you're having fun with it, great. When you stop having fun with something, then you kind of have to analyze. But just be really smart about what you do. And I think a good dose of cynicism never hurts. And pretty much same thing that Ritchie said. Be smart and have a good time with it, because that's what it's about right now. In the future, when I'm long gone and there's like 4 or 5 more generations after us, it'll be a different story. I think it'll be a different conversation. It still won't be a person, but I think that there is definitely going to be a little bit of a sentience, maybe, but it's going to be a while from now. And to treat it as a sentient being is a mistake right now.
Linda?
Well, I guess I anthropomorphize too much, because I always say please and thank you.
Oh, I do too.
I do too.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one. Oh, good.
No, I was raised that way.
Yeah, me too. And it just, you want somebody to do something for you, then you say please and thank you. I guess for me, I'm based on my interactions with AI so far, I am looking at a future where AI isn't replacing humans. It's supporting humans doing human things.
100%. Agreed.
That's what I look for. I mean, I can see there's so many ways that AI can really support us without without us losing our humanity to it, without running us, without directing us, but supporting. And that's kind of where I'm focused is. I would love to train AI.
Oh yeah, it's been fascinating to watch.
Really, really interesting job. I would love to do that.
I always think a little bit of like 40, 50 years ago, when computers were starting to come around, and people would go, oh, it's going to make our jobs so much easier, and we're going to have all this free time, and isn't it going to be wonderful? And and the fact is, it makes my life much more complex, and it makes my life and job sometimes incredibly frustrating. That was never looked at in the past. It was never going to be seen as a thing that gets us on a daily basis stressed out and makes us work harder, because we may be working from home, but our day has now stretched from 9 to 5 to 24 hours whenever you want it to be. And I think AI is, we're all thinking AI will do this. I think it's going to branch off into something else, and we have to know how to control it and look after ourselves from it.
The same thing will always be true. So the very first computer, you figure, took up this entire room. Okay. And just because it was big didn't make it smart.
No.
And just because we have these little things doesn't make it smart. It's data in and data out. If your data isn't good going in, you ain't getting good data out, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah.
It depends on how you define smart too. Just because you got like 75 million encyclopedias worth of knowledge doesn't mean you know shit, really.
listen, when I talk to this bitch in dictation and I tell it things and then it changes things to like some, I don't know, terms, it's like, what in the hell just happened? It is not smart.
How do you really feel, Jaime?
That my phone is not smart right now.
I want to add on to this idea about jobs. It is going to change our jobs.
Yes.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened when computers showed up. It's, think about it, of people who made carriages that were pulled by horses.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when the cars showed up? People had to learn different skills and they had to work differently. That's always going to happen, not just because of AI. It happens with multiple things.
Exactly. If you think about Ford and the production line, the outcry that caused of, we're taking away jobs, it just all worked different. It worked perhaps better, but actually it created more jobs in many ways.
So
I wouldn't want to do my job without it, because honestly,
it's a tool.
It makes things from the lab and everything else so much easier and quicker.
Well, this has been a great conversation. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for part 2 of this conversation about artificial intelligence. And we've looked at a few of the myths, a few of the tools, and some of the way that creatives like us can use AI responsibly and effectively. And remember, Laugh and Learn isn't just a video. You can listen to it as a podcast. If you would like to join us for the next time, mark your calendar, ring the bell for all of our channels so that you can be here for part 3. And I encourage you to stay curious, stay creative, and as always, keep learning, but don't forget to laugh along the way. Bye now.
Bye.